Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. I want to talk to you about a very interesting topic today. An interesting topic and a topic that concerns every Indian. I'm going to talk about two different protests that happened in India. One protest that happened in 1930. It was called the Dandi March, led by Mahatma Gandhi himself. The second protest is 2020 farmers' protest. I want to talk about the similarities of these two protests, and I want to talk about the difference in these two protests. That's my topic for the day. Let's get right into the show. Dandi March. The satyagraha that was headed by Mahatma Gandhi started off on 12th of March 1930 to 5th of April 1930. The march was from Sabarmati ashram to Dandi, which is around 390 kilometers. 78 volunteers walked with Mahatma from Sabarmati ashram to Dandi. But as they walked, lakhs of people joined the caravan. Lakhs of people joined the march. Satyagraha, as it was called, the truth force. Satya, truth. Agraha, force. That was something that Mahatma Gandhi was preaching, practicing. Non-violent movement, non-violent protests. Dandi March was against the British monopoly of salt. Dandi March was a protest for the rights of Indians, for the rights of Indian people. On the 4th of May 1930, Mahatma Gandhi was arrested. This protest went on for a year. And almost 60,000 people were arrested in this protest. 60,000 Indians were arrested in this protest. 60,000 Indians were arrested by the Britishers in this protest. Let me make it more clearer. And even after 1 year of protest, even after Mahatma Gandhi was arrested, even after 60,000 people were arrested, the British didn't give any much concession on the monopoly, British monopoly of salt. They didn't give much concession. They maintained. This was the Dandi March. Now let me talk to you about another protest in India, which was quite recent. This protest started somewhere in 2020. In fact, protest started in August 2020, but people started walking into Delhi somewhere on the 23rd of November 2020. Farmers from all over the place, especially from Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, started walking into Delhi on the 23rd of November 2020. And they were stopped. They were brutally stopped. There were major police action, water cannons, tear gases, the works. They tried to brutally crush this movement. In fact, 26th of March 2020, they said 250 million workers participated in various industries, right from banking, transportation, telecommunication, oil and gas. Lots of workers, they join in to support the farmers. It is said to be one of the world's largest coordinated strike efforts. 24th of January 2021, a tractor rally was launched in Delhi. 28th of August, recently, there was a protest in Karnal where the SDM was seen saying that, you break the heads, if need be, of these farmers, but stop them. Almost a year. In fact, this November, it will complete a year. You know what is the similarity between Dandi March and farmers' protest? Dandi March and farmer protest, both these protests, it was the brutal act of the police, of the administration, that caught the world attention. The second thing is, almost after a year, and according to Mr. Rakesh Tikayat, 600 people died in the protest, and a lot of people got arrested. After this, almost even after a year, there is no much concession that the government has given to the farmers. So these are the similarities in both these protests, and that is what I want to get to the forum. You know what is the difference? The difference is 1930 we were under British rule. In 2020 we are a self-governed country, we are a republic, we are a democratic country. We voted our leaders. But somehow the results of two protests looks the same. You know, a democracy is about listening to people. A democracy is about understanding the people's citizens' problem, understanding their woes, and then resolving it. A democracy is about dialogues. When the democracy changes into the fact that most of us believe that what you are doing is not right, this is right, and therefore we believe it is right, therefore it is right, it should be right for you because we are majority, that no longer becomes democracy, it starts being majoritarianism. We need to start distinguishing between democracy and majoritarianism. I believe so, he believes so, he believes so, he doesn't believe so, he better believe what I believe because three of us believe it. That's what's happening. This is good for the farmers, says the government. Government says, I have got majority 303 seats in the Lok Sabha. So therefore, most of the country believes in what I say. Therefore, farmers, listen to this and do it. You don't have a choice. We are not going to budge. We are a strong government. Majoritarianism. Democracy would be sit, talk. 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, 4 round, 5 round, 12 rounds, talk. Convince. Get a buy-in. It is the Farmers Act, which means the farmers has to buy into it. The farmers has to agree. The fact that major farming union are not agreeing to it means the farmer has a problem with the act. And that problem has to be addressed, and that has to be addressed amicably, even if you are a majority government. The last point I want to make is somewhere down the line, like I always say, and I didn't say this, John Lewis said this, that democracy is not a state, it's an act. Civil society has to know what is happening in the parliament. Civil society has to know what is happening in the Lok Sabha. Civil society has to know what is happening in the Rajya Sabha. Civil society has to know how a bill is passed. Civil society has to know why a bill is not passed. And civil society has to know what is the right and the wrong in a particular bill before it turns into an act. Civil society has to know. If civil society couldn't care less, then this is going to happen more and more and more. And that's the point I wanted to make today. I am saying my request even today to the government is talk to the farmers. With every lathi that you are going to lift on them, you are losing them. They are going further away from you. Call them to the negotiating table. Speak to them. Talk to them. Understand from them. And if need be, course correct yourself. There is no ego in saying that this is wrong. Finally, it is their life that you are planning, not yours. If you are planning their life, they need to be happy about it. And that's the point I wanted to make. Till I see you next time. Namaskar.